Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the IBC News at 7 at 7:30. We know everything, and you'll find out. I'm your host, Balthazar Avarius, here to present all that's fit to present about Idarun on its 12th birthday. That's right, celebrating Idarun's... excuse me, something in my throat. Here to celebrate Minetown's 12th birthday and the first birthday in Idarun, here in the studio today. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a full 12 years of history with Minetown. In today's program, we are also going to be seeing several interview segments, as well as the results of the SCDC election. But first, before diving into results, let's look at some polls from the completely not military affiliated IBC voting polls. Polling shows strong favor in favor of candidate LDF 220-EV has actually withdrawn from voting and will not be present. Unfortunately, this removes what we believe to be the strongest contender for the SCDC. This leaves several other individuals, including an Apple, who polled very strongly in favor of Pi, as well as... Oh, I'm sorry, this is incorrect. The SCDS member Hostile Waffles is in fact not running and therefore not eligible to become food. Moving on, we have an interview with someone from out of town here on the streets of Idarun. Out to you, Avarius, in the streets.
Oh, hi, hello. Fine, sir.
Thank you, Avarius. I'll take over from here. Hello there. So I'm assuming you are the out-of-towner we're going to be interviewing concerning the SCDC today.
Yes, absolutely.
So what do you know about the SCDC election?
I'm aware that it's Spawn City, and that somehow an Apple is up for election.
Interesting. So, how exactly did you come to find out about our little election in this corner of the world?
Well, I actually found out about it through AOLIM. It takes a long time for messages to get out where I'm from. So, once I saw that you guys were having some sort of election, I just had to see what would happen. Because I think it could be fun.
And of course, it does. It's been a long road, getting those messages from here to there. Of course.
Yes, absolutely.
So, do you have any favorites from the SCDC my apologies, from the SCDC candidates?
I'm really hoping to see Bumpy or Zoom take the top spot in there, mostly because I really don't want the Apple to win in any way, shape, or form. As funny as it would be, fruit can't govern.
Yes, we would indeed find ourselves bobbing with apples, wouldn't we?
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely.
So, moving on to some other points, it seems you seem to be a very well-traveled individual. Do you know anything about weather?
I have this really, really special sixth sense where whenever I sniff the air, I can tell when it's going to rain.
Oh, no, not that. Whether or not somebody's actually going to win or if the election's going to be rigged at the last minute. Though that is interesting. We will get back to that point.
Yes. It's quite possible that it could be rigged, in which case I'm all down for a riot. I came a long way. I don't really have a ride home, so I'd love to be able to commandeer a vessel.
Interesting. Okay, so you did mention an interest in the weather. Tell me, I have to ask, does this involve standard weather, or have you experienced, exotic weather patterns such as food or men?
Yes, actually, it rained men the other day. Hallelujah, might I add. We were needing quite a few where I'm from. It's very, very difficult to find anyone that is a man.
Around here it really only rains cats and dogs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. Cats and dogs, they're
I'm
very,
sorry.
very
Did
fun
you just
combination.
dub yourself in another language?
I plead the fifth.
Your head was moving, but you weren't speaking.
I plead the fifth.
Sorry. Back to the weather. What were you saying?
Yeah, I have this sixth sense. I know whenever it's going to rain, specifically whenever it is raining men. But I can also tell whenever farming seasons change, which
Wonderful.
is a very,
well,
very
that's fantastic knowledge, but completely unnecessary to our program at this point in time. We'll get back to you in 4 to 6 weeks. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Now back to Avarius in the studio. Thank you, Avarius, and we'll be taking it from here with the results from Saturday night's Spleef. Here to present the results is Bumpy Bob 0007 from BSPN Sports News.
Thank you, Mr. Avarius. So, this past week, Matthews and Apple defeated Scott to win his 37th or 38th title overall. This title is Matthews' fourth consecutive title, in fact, and comes from a stretch where he has won 7 of the past 9 titles. This past week was hosted at Kodapuri Spleef, and it was a very not fake event. It's a very fun event, and we hope to see all Spleefs to turn out the same way.
Interesting. You have that Freudian slip in your front pocket there. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Bob. Now we'll be going to Mason with the weather. Over to you, Mason.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Avarius. I'm currently located way, way deep underground. If I could get a visual, please. Yes. So, thankfully, temperatures have started to calm down after a massive heat wave, and if the bat sees its shadow, it's going to be a great potato farming season. Back to you, Avarius, in the studio.
Thank you so much, Mason. Moving on, we're going into our special SCDC program where we'll have a new guest up to discuss the election's potential. Today we have with us a completely different Bumpy Bob 0007.
Thank you, Mr. Avarius. So we are all very excited to see the results of this election. This was a very high turnout election, with in fact, at the last we've heard, there were over 28 people voting. This election was, we were excited from all the people who voted, and it really shows a genuine interest in helping make Spawn a better place. We are all very interested in seeing Spawn City develop as a whole, and this is the way we do it. Now, honestly, we're not, as for the voting itself, we're not really too sure how it's going to turn out. There weren't, despite murder being legal where the election took place, we did not receive any reports of any sort of death at the event, which, honestly, did that surprise you? It certainly surprised me.
Oh, no, took me completely by surprise. I was at least expecting some sort of election fixing or other shenanigans.
Yeah, it was by all means a clean election. And
Stunning, really.
Yeah. As the results come in, we'll be looking at the breakdown by demographic, by where they live on the server, and it should be really fun to see how the election turns out.
All right, and in fact, we do have those results on their way in now. We'll be collating them, but while we take care of that particular clerical task, we'll be switching to Mason with a special weather report. Over to you, Mason.
Things are a little different up here. I'm not really that much of a fan of it.
But can you tell us what the weather conditions are?
It's cold!
Thank you very much for that special report, Mason. And now on to the presentation of the SCDC election results. Up in last place, we have with 43 votes, it's Minnie Clune. Better luck next time, Minnie. Probably should have had a bigger name. After that, we have with 58 votes, It's Newton Toot. Thank you very much for participating, Newton Toot. But in fact, you did tell us not to vote for you. So sorry, my good sir. And then with 73 votes, it's tomorrow's dessert. Matthew is an apple. Thank you very much for playing, Matthew. But it looks like this apple turned out to be sour. And then into our SCDC winners, we have, with 81 votes, Special Target. Give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen. He's a skeleton of his former self. Next in line after Special Target, with 100 even votes, it's Bumpy Bob 0007, who stunningly can confirm that this election was in no way modified or pushed. And last but not least, the new SCDC chairman, your future leader for Spawn City with 126 votes, it's Zoom. Thank you very much for participating, ladies and gentlemen, but we're going to have to zoom off to our next segment, a special weather report from Mason. Over to you, Mason.
I don't exactly know where I am. Ah! Oh, God! Wah!
Thank you very much for that report, Mason. And that's all we have for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us. And remember, if you do it, we'll see it and tell everybody. Good night, everyone.